Hollywood has always been built on illusions, perfect faces, flawless elegance, and carefully crafted storylines. But behind the bright lights are secrets captured in quiet moments, and Kim Novak's life is one of the most haunting examples. She appeared untouchable, the icy blonde icon of the 1950s, the woman Alfred Hitchcock shaped into a cinematic mystery. Yet the cameras that made her famous also exposed the truth she tried so hard to hide. Some photos of Kim don't show a movie star at all. They show a human being, worried eyes, private laughter, and a loneliness that no studio could ever edit away. Long before the world knew her name, she was just Marilyn Pauline Novak, a young girl from Chicago trying to find her place in a world that didn't notice her. She modeled. She smiled for ads. She stood where photographers pointed. But one director saw something deeper. Columbia Pictures signed her, polished her image, and gave her a new name, Kim Novak. From that moment, she wasn't allowed to stumble. She had to become a legend. But legends often pay a heavy price. The public saw glamorous dresses, sharp cheekbones, and magazine covers that made her look carved from marble. But hidden in the archives are photos where Kim Novak isn't posing at all. Behind the scenes of major films, especially Vertigo, her most memorable role, she was caught in unguarded moments, laughing, daydreaming, staring into nothing as if the world was too heavy for her shoulders. Those images tell a silent story. She didn't just play a mysterious woman, she was one. Hollywood liked to say she was graceful, but the truth? She was cautious. She moved through studios like someone walking on thin ice, careful steps, measured words. Each appearance, each camera flash was a test. And yet, in rare photographs from quiet afternoons, she appears almost weightless, as if fame had loosened its grip on her for just a second. These are the images that reveal her real identity: fragile, playful, searching. People worshipped her style. Women copied her hair. Men called her unforgettable. But in private snapshots, away from the perfect lighting, she looked like someone still trying to answer a question she never spoke aloud. Who am I when no one is watching? There are photos that the world recognizes instantly, and then there are the ones that whisper. The ones that hint that Kim Novak never wanted to be famous. She just wanted to be seen. And that is where her real story begins. As Kim's fame grew, the studio worked endlessly to shape her image, but the camera doesn't always obey instructions. In movie stills, she was elegance personified. But in candid photos, she seemed to be searching for a quiet place to breathe. Hollywood painted her as unreachable, yet in private albums, she looks simple and almost shy, wearing casual clothes instead of designer gowns, smiling without the pressure of perfection. These unplanned photographs show the version of Kim that only a few people ever met, the woman who still carried Chicago in her heart. In the heart of the 1950s and 60s, her fashion became part of pop culture. Flowing dresses, iconic hairstyles, soft makeup, she didn't just follow trends, she created them. Fans studied her photos like guides on how to be beautiful. But Kim knew that beauty could become a prison. That's why she cherished the rare snapshots where her guard was down. A playful grin, a moment of contemplation. A look that said, "I'm not a character today, I'm just myself." The most powerful photos, however, came from her film sets. Vertigo became her legacy, not just because of Hitchcock's direction, but because the photos from that set revealed the complexity of her emotions. She could switch from mysterious to vulnerable in seconds. When the cameras were rolling, she was Madeline. But when they stopped, she was Kim, a woman trying to navigate a life no script could fully explain. Shots of her talking with the director, waiting between takes, or standing alone in thought feel almost cinematic themselves. You look at them and wonder, was she acting, or was she simply living a role that Hollywood assigned to her? As years passed, fame began to cool. Kim Novak stepped away from the spotlight, not because she faded, but because she made a choice. Behind closed doors, a new passion emerged: art. She became a painter, pouring the feelings she never said aloud into colors and brushstrokes. Photos of her in those later years show her surrounded by canvases, focused, peaceful, and finally free. The woman who once performed for cameras now created for herself. Some might say her career slowed, but the truth is, she simply began telling her story without words. That's why these photos matter. They don't glorify fame, they reveal humanity. They show that behind the acclaimed actress was someone who laughed, struggled, loved, created, and grew. Someone real, someone unforgettable. Each image, whether from her youth or her artistic years, forms a mosaic of a life that couldn't be contained by Hollywood's spotlight. Kim Novak proved something rare. You can step away from the camera and still leave a picture no one will ever forget.